see Texas Supreme Court.
Texas Supreme Court just to decide if judge can be punished for refusing to marry gay couples. So it's Kim Davis, but a judge.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, Texas Supreme Court is currently weighing whether a judge could be sanctioned for refusing to do her job on account of her being a Christian bigot, which stems from she wants to perform weddings. She just only wants to do heterosexual weddings. And
then you don't want to do weddings.
Yeah, no, that's the whole crux of this matter. She could just step back and not do any weddings and everything would be fine. But she decided, no, I do want to do weddings. I just don't want to do the gay ones. Which that it like
look,
if you're a clergy member, that's kind of pushing the line. Like if you're just a private citizen who's a clergyman who does weddings or whatever, and you say like, oh no, I'm not going to do gay weddings, that's kind of pushing the line where it's like, they're a private citizen, they're allowed to hold these bigotries or whatever, but like they are offering a public service, so they should offer it equally to everybody. But like someone who's in charge of enforcing the law is sitting there saying, I don't want to do legal things for this protected class of citizens. It's like, that's a big red flag. Like, no, that should not be allowed.
It's agitating how separation of church and state is such an important thing in America, unless you specifically want evangelical laws passed every single time. Because the NIFB have pushed for this kind of shit all the time, and it's the easiest response to it every single time is, so what if we just started passing Sharia laws? Now, granted, I did see Steven Anderson made a video a couple years ago where he actually said he would welcome Sharia law because it more closely aligns with what he wants.
And it does.
So sometimes they will bite the bullet on that and just be like, no, that's what I want. I want Sharia law. Like, oh, okay, so sure.
In 2019, after she refused to marry gay couples who visited her courthouse, she was given a public warning by the Texas Commission on Judicial Conduct, which said the warning said she was casting doubt on her capacity to act impartially, which, well, fucking duh.
If you say you can't do the marriage for people because they have more wieners than you're comfortable with, then yeah, you're not impartial.
Yeah, and like the warning said she could be punished in the future if she kept it up. So like, literally nothing happened except she was given a warning saying, hey, you should do your job impartially, otherwise it might call your partiality or your impartiality into question, which like, yeah, but that's it. Like she wasn't sanctioned or anything. She wasn't disbarred. She wasn't asked to step down. There were zero consequences. It was just, hey, we're warning you that this might be a problem in the future if you keep it up. That was it. And because of that, she sued them.
What?
She sued them because they warned her. It says the commission violated the Texas Religious Freedom Restoration Act, so the Texas version of the unfortunately Democrat-passed bill RFRA, by investigating and punishing. There was no punishment, it was a warning. Judge Hensley for recusing herself from officiating same-sex weddings, adding, by investigating and punishing her for acting in accordance with the commands of her Christian faith, the state of Texas has substantially burdened the free exercise of her religion with no compelling justification. Except the compelling justification is treat people equally under the law.
No, if there's more wieners than I'm comfortable with, they're not equal. They have to divide the rights between them.
Yeah, no, but like, if being a Christian stops you from being able to treat people equally under the law, you maybe shouldn't be in a position where you're in law enforcement.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why it terrifies me thinking about police officers that try to use their faith as a measuring stick when doing law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? There was a move in Georgia and in a few other states to put "In God We Trust" on the back of every police vehicle, and
I remember that.
the argument proposed against it, which is usually it's always the same argument. What if we used a different religion? Do you feel safer when "In God We Trust" is in the back of the vehicle? What if instead we put "Allahu Akbar" in the back of the vehicle? Would you feel more safe if that was driving around your community enforcing laws? And most sane people in the States would go, well, no, we don't like that one that's from the religion we don't like. Like, okay, well, it's the same thing for everybody else who's not Christian when they see "In God We Trust." We know which God you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we know it's one that ostensibly wanted to genocide the entire world in the flood. I don't trust that one. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Then this is a Hemet Medica article, so of course it's written with a certain editorial flair. He says, being Christian shouldn't allow government officials to ignore the law. It wasn't okay with Kim Davis, and it shouldn't have been okay with Hensley. Absolutely. She was asking for $10,000 in damages because that was the money she was losing by not being allowed to perform straight weddings. It's like, yeah, but you wouldn't have had to lose that if you weren't being a bigot. So in 2021, a judge tossed out her case on technicalities, including the fact that the commission had sovereign immunity from such lawsuits, so she's literally not allowed to sue the body that she sued. Being a judge, you'd think she would have known that, but apparently not. And then Hensley asked the Supreme Court, or no, an appeals court affirmed the ruling, and she asked the Supreme Court to take up the ruling, and that's what they did. And of course, the Texas Supreme Court is all Republican, so I have absolutely no hope that they're going to actually rule correctly on this.
I just want to ask.
And also, her lawyer is the guy that is behind the state's abortion bounty law, the one where if somebody from Texas goes to get an abortion and you rat on someone, you can get you can sue someone who gets an abortion.
Yep.
That law. That's her lawyer.
Of course. It's like when you hear that Rudy Giuliani is going to be the lawyer for something, you're like, I know the flavor of this bullshit. Great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Rhino, I have a question to ask you. Do you have a trauma response to the phrases in a 5-4 decision or in a 6-3 decision?
Yes, actually. And I was reading about something that passed before Trump messed with the Supreme Court, and it was a 5-4 decision. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck, that's going to be a bad... But no, that was actually a good decision. I forget what it was, but...
And that's the moment you realize you have a trauma response.
Yeah, no, I knew about the trauma response before that. But, yeah, no, 5-4 decision is very much, I know it's going to be bad if it's a 5-4 decision.
Yep.
And it seems like the only cases they're taking up are the ones that end up in 5-4 decisions.
Where, like, even one of the conservative judges is like, maybe not, but probably.
Yeah, and it's the Republicans that accuse the liberals of being the judicial activists. Meanwhile, they refuse to vote for anything that's not just pure ideologically motivated.
Ideologically, I don't know anymore. All I know is this country scares me sometimes.
Yeah, so her lawyer wrote that state law protects people's religious freedom unless there is a furtherance of a compelling governmental interest. He also said it prohibits wedding officiants from discriminating based on race, national origin, or religion. Notably absent from that list of protected criteria that I just mentioned is any mention of discrimination on account of sex or sexual orientation. In other words, I'm allowed to be a bigot as long as it's not a racist bigot.
Well, this is one of the things where when you use the word bigotry, a Republican only thinks of the most extreme examples of it, and 9 times out of 10 that's going to come down to racism. Usually it's like, well, I don't say bad things about the people in my constituency who are black. Usually that's what you'll find people hiding behind there. So it makes sense that she would try to do this. Like, it's not bigotry, it's just my faith. Because in her brain, bigotry requires you to, I don't know, be nigh near a Holocaust at that point.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's just quite telling that they're like, oh well, like they're using Air Bud rules to say like, oh well, it doesn't say that you're like it doesn't say you're not allowed to discriminate based on sexual orientation. I mean,
I've never heard the term Airbud rules.
Oh, that's where there's nowhere in the rules where it says a dog can't play basketball. Well, there's nowhere in the rules where it says the judge can't discriminate based on gender or based on sexual orientation.
You know what? I'm going to steal that from you.
I didn't come up with it, so feel free.
I'm going to steal that from whoever came up with it.
Whoever wrote Airbud.
Well, no, I've seen Airbud. I mean, using the descriptor Airbud rules for this kind of crap.
I thought that was a common thing. I didn't know that was...
I've never heard that before.
And Jassa says, Obergefell is law. These people can't read. Yeah, but how long is Obergefell going to be law for with the current Supreme Court? Like, they've been taking up cases they shouldn't have been taking up, specifically aimed at weakening Obergefell.
There's no rule saying a cat can't play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, there's probably not, because it's just kind of assumed that they're not going to.
Jeez.
Anyway, Hensley could avoid this entire situation if she simply opts out of performing marriages, but she wants the ability to sign marriage certificates for straight couples and not gay ones, and believes her religion takes priority over the law.
Like most of the NIFB does.
Yeah, so as he's pointing out, nobody's punishing her for her religious views. It's about her actions based on those views.
I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, so like if a Christian judge made it clear that he didn't want to perform any marriages because of his anti-gay bigotry, that would be fine. However, she wants to offer the service while excluding certain people, and that's where the problem lies. And that literally is it. It's just an equal application of law to everybody, as opposed to saying like, oh well, this law only applies to this group of people, not that other group of people. And that's not okay. She also, I'm going to reread this when Suris gets back, but she also apparently, as a present to her parents who had a falling out with her her gay brother for a while, she hired a detective to track him down once a year to take a picture of him to send to her mother, because that's not creepy. That's one that Suris needs to hear. Get back here, Suris. Oh, my faith requires you to give me all your money. No, this is not a robbery. What makes you say that? You are infringing on my religious freedom. The letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. Yep, absolutely. Should say they can't discriminate. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Yeah, well, it's Texas, man. Like you can't pass pro LGBTQ stuff in Texas. It just doesn't work there. Ooh, we got $500 now in the charity fundraiser. Let's see. Let's see, we got Jethro Elfman sent $75. Hi, Jethro. Anonymous sent another 50. Oh, it does automatically scroll still. I thought I would have to add custom CSS to it for that. But yeah, apparently not. So I might be able to have like a scrolling list of the people who have donated later when I get more people that donate. So more of you donate, then I can get a scrolling list up here so everybody can have their name shown on stream. Let's see, Jassa says Gorsuch is surprisingly progressive with native and gay people, not TQIA+, but the LG part, but he has ruled in favor of specifically gay people and is normally for native people. So yeah, what I'm getting out of that statement is that Gorsuch is a piece of shit. But maybe not as big a piece of shit as some of the other people in the court. Yeah, isn't Texas trying to ban out-of-state travel for pregnant individuals? Yeah, basically. I think there's a rule that's being considered on the books for like preventing, like making it illegal to use the highway to travel for an abortion. So basically, if you're pregnant and on the highway, you're automatically being suspicious. So if you get pulled over and you're pregnant, then the cop can be like, hey, where are you going with that baby inside your belly? And that's not terrifying at all. Yeah, so Texas is now a red hue purple right now. Yeah, so by population, Texas is blue. But because of districting, it doesn't come across as blue in the elections. Now, it's got a chance of flipping blue in the 2024 election. Because it came reasonably close last time. And especially with the draconian abortion laws, which even Republican voters are generally against. I could see Texas going blue in the not too distant future. And I have great hopes that the Republicans are going to get curb stomped this year, because they've been just so obviously complete bullshit. Like everything from the draconian anti-abortion laws that are being passed everywhere to like the shit show that was the Speaker of the House thing, where they obviously can't get their shit together. It's becoming obvious to people that Republicans are just incapable of governing. And when they actually do get shit done, it's not shit that people want done. So I feel like that's becoming more obvious. So the Republicans are more likely to end up getting destroyed. I think. I hope. Where's Suris? Why is he taking so long? I never take this long when I leave. And I have fucking kids. I hear shuffles. You back?
I am back.
That was a long absence. I was struggling there.
Look, one of my chatters, Blitzkrieg, did the treat stream thing where they sent me a pizza over stream, so I had to go get it from the delivery driver.
I didn't know that was a thing. Do they have that in Canada? Can I get that? I want to do that. Someone send me a pizza. Someone send me a pizza. I want a pizza. Fuck. Anyway, the thing that I want to that I like, I kept reading the article a little bit because I'm like, it's kind of repetitive stuff. But then I got to the thing that was like, no, I want Suris to be here for this. So so Judge Hensley, her parents had a falling out with her brother, who apparently is gay or was gay before he died. And after they had a falling out with her brother, one of the things that she did as a Christmas present was every year she would hire a detective to track him down and take a picture of him as a gift for their mother.
Wait, how is that a fucking gift? That's creepy as shit.
That is so fucking creepy.
That is, why is that a thing that... Okay, if you are somebody who is in charge of doing anything, officiating or anything involving other fucking people, I feel like stalking like that should maybe be one of the things that bars you from doing that.
Fennec the Rabbit says, we'd have to send you enough pizza for you plus Heidi plus kids. That's a lot of pizza. Yeah, welcome to my fucking world. Like, Little Caesars used to be my go-to pizza place, not because it's good, but because I could feed the whole family for $10. Now Little Caesars is $40 to feed the whole family. Because, like, her tiny children, who are like a third the size of my children, will eat like 17 pieces of pizza if you let them. Whereas my kids get full after like 2. It's crazy. Anyway.
Jeez. Treat Stream is available in Canada, by the way.
Okay. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. So yeah, he just goes on to talk about how the Supreme Court's all Republicans, and it will be surprised if they actually, don't rule the wrong way.
Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability a Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Red Joker, Blitzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you. Sagittarius, I'm not saying that part. And Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.